I just took a DNA test, and it turns out I'm still believing Juan's lies. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Raphael, and I am here to review the Season 8 premiere, Episode 1, of the Real Housewives still believing everything their husband is telling them of Potomac. We start the season off with the fallout of what happened between Robyn and Juan Dixon last season, and how she chose to believe his side of the story when this whole scandal broke out that he was allegedly cheating on Robyn for this girl who had innocently just messaged him on Instagram like, "Hey, Mr. Juan Dixon, sir, can you just pay for my hotel room? I forgot my credit card. Can you just do that and that's it, please?" So what did he do? He was like, oh, okay, fine, let me pay for the hotel. And that was it, according to him, right? So now we're here. So Robyn, she's at her house. She's in the living room looking at all the pictures of their wedding that they just had in the Bahamas. If I was her, I'd be contemplating putting them in the fire. But then guess who walks in through the front door? I was shocked. It was Juan Dixon, that no good lying excuse of a man. He walks in and I'm like, what? Is that really Juan Dixon? You know, it usually takes like maybe 16 to 17 episodes into the season to even get a glimpse of him. But here we are 30 seconds in and he's showing up. So kudos to you for being on time, Juan. Now, are you going to be at the reunion? That's what I really want to know. So he shows up, he's sitting next to Robyn. Robyn is like, you know, we're back to reality now. You know, we just had a beautiful wedding in the Bahamas. And now I'm looking at all these headlines with you, this girl, and this whole hotel situation. And it's too much. And then Juan, he proceeds to tell Robyn, yeah, it was a pretty dumb thing to do, and I could see why it looks the way it does, but I promise you, Robyn, I didn't do anything with this woman. She just messaged me on Instagram asking me if I could pay for the hotel room that she was staying at because she lost her credit card, and we all do that sometimes, you know? So I thought, me, Juan Dixon, being the best human being in this world, being so nice and caring about my money, why not give this girl some money? You know, maybe she could pay it forward to somebody else. So I thought, let me go help out our fellow human being and pay for the hotel room myself. Then he continues sprinkling some more BS to his story by saying, you know, I give away money to homeless people, to charities. I even brought a couple of shirts from the She by Charade website as if he's this grand person off the show. And he might be, but from what we've seen on this show, specifically his behavior towards his wife, Robyn, he hasn't been that nice. So what makes you think, Juan, that we're going to believe that you were just randomly nice to some random woman at a hotel who needed money? So then Robyn, she has her spoon and fork in hand because she's eating up his lies. She's like, yeah, no, I completely understand. I completely get it. You were being a good person. No, I completely trust you. And I feel like deep down inside, Robyn knows that he's full of lies and BS, but she's just kind of going along with this because I feel like she does not want to prove to the audience and to her cast members, specifically Karen, that they were right to begin with. So she's willing to just look like a fool on TV. I'm guessing, right? Or it must be low self-esteem because Robyn, come on now. So she tells Juan, so you were at this hotel with this girl and you didn't bother doing anything? Like, why? And I feel like this was a trick question because Juan was looking at her and I know he was probably tempted to be like, wait, are you okay with me doing anything with her? I'm like, Juan, are you going to fall for it? But luckily he didn't because he was like, oh, no. I just signed the receipt. I just paid for the hotel and that was it. I left and that was it. I was just being a good person. I'm like, oh, okay, you got lucky with that one. But the next couple of scandals were that he was seen at a laundromat. Soap, powder, bleach, towels, fabric, softener, dollars, change. I'm heading to the laundromat. 10 points to whoever knows the song, but he was seen at a laundromat and a nail salon with somebody who he used to work with, this beautiful woman. And Juan just, oof, and then he tells Robyn, oh, you know, co-workers, you know, they all go out together. So, you know, what's so strange about going to a nail salon? You know, I need to get my nails done. I need to do our laundry. Like, what's the problem? I'm looking at Robyn like, okay, this is where she goes off on him. She's going to curse him out and throw him out the house. Robyn, are you going to do it? Robyn? And she doesn't. She looks at Juan and she's like, I mean, I don't know. Do you really know this girl? I mean, I don't know. Do you really know her? And he's like, well, I mean, she's a beautiful woman. And Robyn is like, wait, what? He's like, she's a beautiful woman. I'm a handsome man. And I'm looking at Juan like, oh, so you think you're handsome? He tried to sneak that in there. He's like, yeah, you know, she's beautiful. I'm handsome. Of course, you know, people are going to talk. And she's also confused as to why Candace is being so hard on her in this whole situation. Tweeting shady things, doing interviews, talking about her. And unless I forgot something or I missed something, I'm confused on that too. I don't get where Candace's issue is coming from towards Robyn, unless she hasn't forgiven her for the whole Miami thing where she brought out that whole Bluetooth speaker trying to put Candace on blast. Maybe that's it. But I feel like according to her tweet, maybe her issue stems from, you know, the whole how Giselle and Robyn, since they're both kind of like a package deal, Giselle never really shares about her deep life or what's going on behind closed doors. She always goes after other people's marriages. And here goes her bestie, Robyn. She has this whole scandal going on in her life behind closed doors, yet she never addresses that on camera. So maybe that's why Candace is upset with both of them and she's just taking it out on Robyn. Maybe, I'm not sure, but you know, Robyn did defend you in that whole Chris fiasco last season, but then she kind of messed up somewhere like in the middle of the season. So I don't know, that's all up in the air, but Robyn, if this is how the season is starting off, it's not looking good for you. Then we see Charlie's Angels. Karen, Candace, and Wendy get together at this restaurant to go out for drinks, and all three of them look really, really good, especially Karen in that one confessional with that uneven bob. My favorite look so far. So they're getting drinks. Wendy, she's like, I don't know, I'm not drinking alcohol for Lent, but I guess Lent is over, so I could get a margarita. And then she tells both of them, oh, by the way, I keep a little gold rosary in my purse. And I mean, that's cute, you know, it's nice, but at the same time, Wendy, if I was you, I'll be a little careful bringing that around Giselle. You know, you might cause a fire. So then Karen, she wants to get to the bottom of everything because I don't think that they've been together ever since last season's reunion, which was very intense. So Karen was just like, well, Wendy and Candace, we need to get to the bottom of things with Robyn Dixon. How has everything been between both of you and everybody else in the group? Because Robyn obviously has some explaining to do with her fake-ass marriage. And she wants to get to the bottom of things because, you know, of course, everything came out with Robyn. Robyn chose to believe Juan, whatever. And, you know, I could see Candace, I could see why Karen and Wendy will be upset with Robyn and, you know, wanting her to answer up to all these questions, right? So then they ask Wendy in the confessional, have you been honest about everything on the show so far? Wendy's looking at the producer like, I mean, you know, yeah, I mean, you know, sort of, kind of. And then they asked her, do you think that Karen has been honest about everything on the show? And I'm like, ooh, this producer is trying to stir some mess up. And Wendy's like, and then she starts laughing. And she's like, well, I mean, I don't know. And I mean, yeah, with Karen, I've always been a little bit fishy with Karen, especially last season. I feel like Karen puts on this whole, oh, I'm the grand dame, I'm the grand dame, I'm the grand dame. And she hides behind that because I feel like there's so much more going on to her. And she doesn't want to put it out there because she doesn't want to give Giselle or anybody on the show ammo to come at her. So she just hides behind that whole image. But I don't know. I feel like there's something there with that whole rumor about her allegedly fucking somebody in the club closet. There's something there, but time will tell, right? So back at the restaurant, Karen is just like, yes, Candace, I really don't appreciate Robyn lying to us like this. You know, she wants to make it seem like everything is perfect between her and Juan Dixon when clearly it's not. And I feel like she has arranged marriage with Juan Dixon. I don't know, but I could be wrong. I could be right, but I feel like this whole marriage is fake. Candace is like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Wendy's like, yeah, I feel like their marriage is arranged. And I mean, arranged for what? She sells hats. I mean, I guess if that's a big business, they got this big house, I guess. But I mean, why wouldn't Robyn be honest about that? You know, just say that, yeah, both of you are just living in the same house. That's that. He's free to do whatever. I'm just waiting for the day that any housewives of any city is just honest and just says, look, me and my husband, we're not together. He gets to screw whoever he wants. I get to screw whoever I want, but we live together. I don't think we've seen it yet. So Robyn, you know, you could be a trendsetter. Like, come on now. We head over to Ashley's new house, and I like that everybody got a cute intro so far. Robyn, she was at her house. Wendy, Karen, and Candace were out getting drinks. Meanwhile, we get Ashley, and she's throwing out the trash. So she's doing that with her two sons, Dean and baby Dylan. And baby Dylan is not so much of a baby anymore. He's walking around helping his brother and mom. Like, they're so adorable. They're so cute. So then we get Ashley's new house, right? Her new house is very, very beautiful. I love it. I love the decor too. I just love how it all looks. I believe that the decor is like city and beachy vibes, something like that. But it's cute. But she pays $2.2 million for it. And I don't know, is the price justified? What does everybody else think? I mean, it's a beautiful house, but for that price, I don't know, Ashley. But Then again, it's coming out of Michael's pocket, so who cares? Meanwhile, we see her in the kitchen, right, with her nanny, Daisy. I don't know what Daisy was doing because I'm looking at baby Dylan and Dean, and the whole entire scene, I was just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, he's gonna dislocate his shoulder. What is he doing? He's gonna break his teeth. What is he doing? Because as Dean is pulling up baby Dylan off the counter, baby Dylan is just hanging off like this, and I'm like, can we get a producer? Like, what is going on? Ashley's just so oblivious to it. She's just looking around. I'm like, Ashley, turn your ass around. And speaking of Ashley, you know, I got pissed all over again because Ashley, she goes on to say, oh, you know, my divorce from Michael is still not finalized, but I'm in no rush because I'm not going to get any alimony. I'm not going to get any money out of it. Besides paying for child support and the down payment of the house, she gets nothing out of it. So I don't know who has the worst, Robyn or Ashley, because you mean to tell me, Ashley, that you were with this zombie for so many years and you get nothing out of this? Like, it couldn't be me. It couldn't be me because I don't have a man. But it could not be me because if I was Ashley, I'll be taking cash while he was in his sleep. I'll be stuffing my bra, my panties, my booty hole, everything. Like, absolutely, I'm leaving with something. But she leaves with nothing. Like, that is crazy. You mean to tell me that you were messy since season 1 all the way up to now on this show and you get nothing out of it? Like, what was her tagline last season? The only thing messier than 2 boys is my bank account. You know, just another way of him having some type of control over you without even being present. Like, you just losing this whole situation. But enough of that. She goes in the backyard. Her backyard is cute, though. And then she calls Giselle. Oh, shit. She's back. She calls Giselle, and Giselle, she puts on her producer hat and she wastes no time. She tells Ashley, so I'm inviting you to our little get together that we're having for Robyn. It's an intervention. And I'm like, damn, Giselle. Can we get a hello? Like, how are you doing? Like, how's your daughters? No, we get right to it. She's like, yeah, Robyn, she's being a little delusional about this whole situation with Juan, and we need to talk to her. We need to talk some sense into her. And I'm like, is it finally happening? It took, what, 7 seasons for Giselle to hold her best friend accountable for her foolishness? Then we head over to Giselle's house, and she's in the kitchen with her new man friend, her boyfriend per se, right? His name is Jason, and in the words of Kenya Moore, he's kind of fine. Jason is beautiful. He's from another show on Bravo called Winter House. I've never seen it, so I don't know his history, but they met through Ashley because Ashley was also dating another guy from the same show. I don't think that they're together now, though, but that's how they met, and now we're here. And we've seen many housewives pull stunts on these shows with a fake boyfriend, fake relationship, Walter. But I feel like this whole situation between Jason and Giselle is completely obvious that it's fake and it's just for a storyline purpose because there's just no chemistry between them. No emotional chemistry, no physical chemistry, at least from what I'm looking at in this first episode. I could be wrong, but I don't see it. And Jason, he just does not look interested in Giselle. He's like, can you not talk to me? Can you not touch me? Like, I'm just here to make food and that's it. And it doesn't make it any better that Giselle, she's trying to be all cute and seductive by showing him like her ass when she bends over. But I mean, she doesn't even do that correctly. This is how she does it. She's like, oh, Jason, hold on. I'm going to get a pan underneath the sink. Okay, give me 1 second. This is Giselle. Oh, shit. Oh, my knees. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Jason, do you like what you see back there? I'm like, what is that? How is that supposed to turn somebody on, Giselle? This is how you're supposed to do it correctly. Watch me. Oh, Jason, I'm gonna get a pan underneath the sink, okay? Give me 1 second. Hold on, I'm looking for it. Give me 1 second. Hold on, I think I see it somewhere under, oh, wait, hold on, I think I got it. 1 second. Yeah, hold on, I think it's somewhere underneath here. That's how you do it. But she's moving like a grandma. I'm like, of course he's not gonna wanna see you, but he's like, oh yeah, I'm not touching you. I'm like, okay, but you know, so now her youngest daughter, Grace, she's going off to college, so all 3 of her daughters are gonna be away. So she's gonna be stuck with this shape-shifting house, and of course she needs something to do, so why not him? In the confessional, the producer asked her, so what's going on between you and Jason? Like, what happens between both of you? And she's like, oh, well, you know, he is 16 years younger than her. He is 37 And that's that. And she's like, well, you know, the West Wing has been seeing things that it has never seen before. And I'm like, what? Good decor? Good furniture, good taste, like a storyline? Jamal? Like, what is it? But no, she says it's between her and Jason, and he makes her feel good. All right. And then we see her daughter, Angel. She's so pretty. All her daughters are pretty, but she comes down and, you know, they ask her in the confessional, so what do you think about Jason? Like, how have you been dealing with him? And she's like, well, I give him an A- so far. Like, he's okay, but, you know, he still needs to go through all my tests and everything. And, you know, that is cute, I guess. But do I see them, you know, being a thing in the long run? I don't think so, but he is a beautiful man. So when this whole situation between you and Giselle is over, call me. Then we head over to Mia's new apartment, which to me, it is crazy how she literally introduced us to her new big ass house last season. She lost it and now she has this tiny apartment. Well, not tiny, but compared to her house, it's a tiny apartment. And it's just crazy to me, like the difference is that fast. And obviously it's because of her husband, Gordon. He got kicked out of the family business. Why? I'm still not sure about that whole situation, actually. I feel like there's something fishy going on with that, too. But they lost all their money and they were living off their savings and now they're here. But fortunately, the apartment looks nice, though, so I don't see an issue. So Mia, we see her come in. She just dropped off her kids from school. She's telling Gordon, hi, Gordon. How are you? Oh, my God, I just dropped off the kids. What's going on? What's happening? Are we getting a new house? Like, what's going on? So she sits down and, you know, they start discussing about the whole family business situation. And she's confused on it. He's kind of confused on it. And he's like, well, I'm not going out with a fight. But he still wants to get to the bottom of it because they lost so much money. Mia, at least she has her joint practices, I believe. So she still has that type of income. And as of now, in current time, I don't think that Gordon or Mia are together. And I believe he was bashing her or doing an interview saying that she's a gold digger. And I mean, honestly, if Mia was with him strictly for just the money and not love, then I don't blame her. Like, you're not taking me down just because your family's doing something fishy and they kicked you out of this business. I'm gonna go find the next ATM daddy. But that's just me, though. Like, I'm not upset with her. Like, I'm not going down. I still want my big ass house. And I haven't forgotten how you cheated on your ex-wife for Mia and you decided to play with her steak and lobsters instead. So you get no sympathy from me. So Mia, then we get her first lie of this season. She tells Gordon, so like, Gordon, I'm just so glad that I'm on this new journey of no alcohol and I'm not drinking any more alcohol at all. I'm just so happy, right? Gordon, he's looking at her like, since when? Just like last season when she told him that she had like breast cancer or something. And he was like, since when? The same scenario. Like, Mia, if you're gonna lie, you need to at least inform your husband that, you know, you're both on the same page, but you're just making things up on the spot. Now she doesn't want to drink because she's like, oh, I don't like my behavior. And, you know, my mouth becomes reckless. Your mouth is already reckless even without alcohol. So I'm not sure what's gonna change. And she tells Gordon, so like, Gordon, like, should I apologize to Karen for like calling her a hoe? Like, should I text her and say, hey, Karen, like, you're not a hoe? Or I'm sorry that you're a hoe? Like, what should I say, Gordon? I'm not really sure. And obviously from the trailer, we see that her and Karen, they eventually get into it. And I'm not sure, Mia, but you know, the Potomac housewives, they're in danger. You know, specifically Robyn, Ashley, and Mia. I don't know who has it worse. We then see Candace and her husband, Chris. They're going out to this park to have a picnic. We get an update on what's been going on with her music career specifically and how she just finished a tour not too long ago and she was performing Drive Back for the millionth time. And I believe her label have given her some money for the tour, but she still had to spend some of her money for this tour specifically. 6 figures. And I don't know, Candace. I mean, I know you're very passionate about your music, but that's a lot of money. 6 figures? At that point, just perform on Instagram Live for free. Or TikTok, you know, ice cream so good. Or drive back so good. Drive back so good. Chris then asked her how did the hangout between Wendy and Karen go? Which now that I'm thinking about it, we really didn't get an update of Karen or Wendy. Like, Wendy was just there. Karen was just there. We just got the confessional and that was it. Like, wasn't she working on like some big ass candle or something last season? And same thing for Karen. Like, what happened? You know, but Candace, she goes on to say that, yeah, we discussed Robyn and that whole situation. And now I understand her issue with Robyn to a certain extent, because that clip from last season's reunion, it made sense when Robyn was like, oh, can we all just agree that it was a bit inappropriate that Chris was in the same room with Giselle? That right there, I can see why Candace is upset with Robyn, because, you know, Robyn, she's over here trying to play it off like she knows what's good and bad, yet behind closed doors, her husband is doing bad to her, yet she doesn't want to address that. She also feels that Robyn was only supporting her and Chris last season simply because she didn't want anybody questioning her or Juan about anything. And I mean, I see where Candace is going with that, but I don't know. I don't think that Robyn is that smart to think that ahead. We head back over to Giselle's house, and I keep telling the producers over and over again, you need to add some type of disclaimer or warning before you show us the outside of her house. Because every time I watch the show, I'm watching like, oh, okay, let's see what's going on. And then they just pan over to Giselle's house and my eyeballs, you know, it takes a little adjusting, like, oh, what am I looking at? You know, her house still looks like a church, a grocery store, and a school put together. And on top of that, everybody, so she's getting everything together, right? For everybody to come on over. She has a charcuterie board. She has champagne and everything. She's wearing her season 6 reunion outfit. And then I believe the driveway or the pavement, whatever, this little runway that they're supposed to come down, it's all uneven. It's not finished and it just looks dangerous. It reminds me when Sheree, when she showed up to Kenya's house and she looked down and she was like, oh, hell no. This looks like a roller coaster if I've ever seen one. Oh, Sheree, but we have Sleepy Charisse. Sleepy Charisse is back this season, and I'm like, why? Like, couldn't you guys give her, like, some milk and cookies or something to put her to sleep in her room or something? But she's coming down the driveway, and you could just feel it, that she feels like she's that bitch. She's walking down like, yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Giselle, where do you want me to sit? Right here? Okay. Give me some champagne. I'm like, okay, Charisse, whatever. I like the hair color, though. So then Ashley Darby, she comes back, and Ashley, she's coming down the pavement backwards, because if she goes front, she's just going to go tumbling. I'm like, Giselle, you have a lawsuit coming. Like, this is dangerous. So she's coming, she's backing it up and everything, and then they sit down, right? So Giselle, she wants to have this whole intervention for Robyn because she's worried about her mental health. And I'm like, oh, so now you're worried about mental health. Oh, it's so interesting. But you could go after everybody else's marriage for all these years, but you don't care about their mental health, right? It only matters when it's Robyn. Okay, so then she's getting everything ready. Eventually, Robyn shows up looking like a bad bitch. I'm like, ooh, she looks good in this dress. The hair looks good. The heels look good. Everything looks good. Again, she has to come down the pavement. She's over here like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, Giselle, you need to get the shit together. So she eventually gets down, and Giselle is just like, okay, so we're here to talk to you. And Robyn is looking at her like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? So Giselle, she starts off by saying, wait a minute, girl, come sit down and tell us what's been happening. I can tell that Juan Dixon is cheating on you again. Oh. So Robyn was like, what are you talking about? Ashley, she starts it off first, and she's like, look, the whole story about, you know, what's been going on with you and Juan and how you told us that he was doing this, and this with that Canadian girl or whatever. I don't know. It just feels like you're not telling me the complete truth. And I'm like, uh-oh, Ashley, you know, look out for Robyn's finger. She's about to put it next to your forehead. But Robyn is like, well, I mean, that's what I said. I mean, it is what it is. Like, there's no making that up. So Charisse, she jumps in it. And I'm like, do you even have a say in this? Like, just back up. Let the other two talk. But Charisse is like, well, I mean, Robyn, I just feel like what Juan was... So then Giselle, she tells Robyn, and which I was shocked, and I was actually here for what Giselle was saying to her. Like, she was actually making a lot of sense. I cannot believe those words left my mouth. But Giselle was actually making sense to Robyn, and she was like, Robyn, this whole situation with you and Juan, you know, I just feel like you're not really processing correctly. And, you know, yeah, we all process things differently. And, you know, realistically, we're probably looking at Robyn like, why is she not crying? Why is she not upset? Why is she not throwing dishes or, you know, cursing him out or whatever? Realistically, right? But I mean, we all deal with things differently. But I don't know, I just feel like from Robyn's body language and the way she talks about things and the way she's not so sure about what she's talking about when it comes to the situation, I feel like she's holding it in. And I just feel like she just needs to cry it out. And it's okay. It's completely fine, Robyn, for you to cry it out, for you to be upset, for you to question Juan. It's all valid. It's all completely okay. But I don't know why she's putting him on a pedestal and she wants to defend him so badly. She was like, oh, well, you know, if Juan was to really lie to me about this whole situation and he was cheating on me, he would have came up with a much bigger lie, something more realistic. And I'm like, Robyn, like, come on, where's the self-respect? Like, for Juan, like, you know, yeah, Juan is cute, but damn, he's not that cute. For you to be doing all of this. And Giselle, she wants to bring up Jamal. And she was like, you know, I just don't want you to feel like, you know, you're basically his doormat, that he could do and say whatever to you behind your back. And when you find out that you're just going to continue going back to him like it's nothing. Because look, when I found out about Jamal, I left him. I never went back. She didn't go back. She had no choice after Monique's binder situation. She felt humiliated at that reunion. She couldn't go back. And Robyn is like, well, I mean, if something like this was to happen again, yeah, I would probably leave him. I will probably leave him. But even the way she was saying it, I don't believe it. I just don't believe Robyn would leave Juan, even if it all came out that he was cheating with like 20 women. I feel like Robyn will still stay. Why? I'm not sure. Insecurity, low self-esteem. Who knows? You know, again, everybody processes relationships differently, but it could not be me. But I actually was like, yeah, you know, me and Michael, that right there, I would have been like, no. You and Michael, don't try to compare me and Juan to you and him. If you're dumb and I'm dumb, we're all dumb here. Like, stop it. So eventually that was that. You know, Robyn continued defending him, and that was just that. I just love how Giselle was just like, I don't want you to lose yourself in this relationship. Like, you have a voice, and it's okay to have a voice. It's okay to scream and cry and curse him out and like do all of this. And Robyn is like, that's what everybody expects of me. And I just don't want that. I don't want to do that. And this is already hard. It's already hard enough that everybody keeps coming at me, and I don't like that. And for as much as I want to give Robyn sympathy, it's very funny because I'm trying to give her sympathy, but at the same time, you stood there next to your little bestie, Giselle, and watched her go after marriage after marriage after marriage with no proof of anything, yet you never had any say in that until last season, you know, when it came to Candace. But now that you're in the hot seat, now all of a sudden you can't handle it. But yet, not too many seasons ago, you were coming at Wendy saying, oh, her husband was liking big booty models, pictures on Instagram or whatever. But now that your husband is there doing X, Y, and Z, now it's a problem that we want to question you. And then on top of that, I'm trying to be sympathetic, but then I'm also remembering last season and how cold you were towards Wendy, especially with the whole Mia fight. You were recording Wendy telling her, oh, stop antagonizing her. Stop antagonizing her. You're the TMZ, remember? But now that you're being put on blast, now all of a sudden we have to be careful, and you're all fragile all of a sudden. Like, I do feel for her, but Robyn, please. So eventually Charisse, again, she wakes up and she tries to make it about herself, and she gets emotional. And she's like, I just don't want you to be like me and my husband. And I'm like, well, thank you for that, Charisse. Thank you. And that was that. Robyn is going to continue defending Juan to who knows when, but I feel like eventually all the questioning is going to become way too much for Robyn, to the point where she's going to become like a volcano, and she's going to build up, and it's just all going to come out at once, and we're just going to see what happens. But we'll see what happens with that whole situation with her and Juan. Next week, we see the new housewife. Her name is Nneka. She's being introduced through Ashley, and already Ashley's being messy, talking about, oh, Wendy, Nneka said this, and this about you, and we don't even know her yet. But yet you couldn't secure any type of money or alimony from your husband, right? Priorities. But before the premiere episode, I thought it was good. I would have liked to see a little bit more of Karen and Wendy, but for the most part, it kind of set the stage for the rest of the season. And this whole Juan and Robyn situation, I'm pretty sure that that's not going to be the only topic this season. So we shall see how it plays out. But I did like the premiere, and I like seeing the Potomac housewives all together, including Giselle. Yes, Giselle. Let me know what you all thought about this whole entire premiere down in the comments. Bye, everybody. Mwah.